The body system that we will be taking a look at today is your nervous system. You can see down here in the corner the parts of the nervous system. We'll go through those, and then some of the divisions of your nervous system. So the main function or functions of your nervous system is to gather data from both inside and outside your body, and then figure out how to respond to that. The organs involved in your nervous system include your brain, your spinal cord, and your nerves, and then they can be broken down further into different divisions from there based on structures and functions. So both your brain and your spinal cord are going to make up what we call your central nervous system. So you would have that, it's in the center kind of part of your body is a way you can remember that. So again, your brain and spinal cord would be your central nervous system. And then your nerves would make up the peripheral nervous system. Now there are some structural divisions, different kinds of nerves that you would have. Your peripheral nervous system, or the PNS, and I should have mentioned that central nervous system is abbreviated CNS. But the PNS with all of your nerves can be divided either into the somatic nervous system or the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nerves are going to control voluntary actions. So for example, your brain is sending signals to your skeletal muscles to allow you to walk would be something that your somatic nervous system would control. It also would interpret senses and send those signals from your nerves to your spinal cord and your brain. So you can interpret what you're seeing, what you're tasting, those types of things. The other division we have is the autonomic nervous system, again, part of the peripheral nervous system, and that can be divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, these are going to function under different conditions. The sympathetic nervous system controls what we refer to as the fight or flight response. That means that if you are in a dangerous situation or a high stress situation, your body kind of subconsciously decides what to do and gears up your different body systems to be able to do those things. So you would decide if it's a situation that you can stay in and try to fight to survive, or if you need to get away to try to survive. So examples would be increasing your heart rate, increasing your breathing rate to allow you to either prepare for a quote-unquote fight or flight to get away from that situation. Then the parasympathetic nervous system can sometimes be referred to as rest and digest. So this is going to be your normal unconscious body functions. So circulation, breathing rate under normal conditions, your digestion, urination, filtering your blood, all of those things that would happen under normal everyday conditions that are unconscious would be controlled by your parasympathetic nervous system. Next, if we take a look at the neurons, so you can see the structure of a neuron here. It's got different parts. Each part has a different function, but a neuron is a nerve cell, and it's going to send signals either chemically or electrically or both. And you can see here would be kind of the beginning of the neuron. You have the cell body. There are dendrites that bring information to the cell body, and then that gets passed along this structure, which is called the axon. Around the axon, you can see them here. They look like little capsules, kind of. Those, that's going to be kind of insulation so that the message is sent smoothly along the axon. You can kind of think of it like insulation on a wire. So with your phone charger, the white plastic or whatever kind of color your charger cord might be, if it's black, it would be black plastic, or some other color. That is going to act like the myelin sheath that protects the wires inside so that those electrical signals can be sent. And that's going to work much like the myelin sheath protecting the axon, so that information can be sent smoothly along the neuron and get to where it needs to go. So this signal can be sent from your spinal cord to your hand to allow your hand to be pulled away from a hot surface. The way that one neuron is going to communicate with another is across a space called a synapse. or the synaptic cleft really. So the synapse is going to release chemicals called neurotransmitters that will bridge, they'll go across this little gap, that cleft there, and be taken in by the next neuron. So those chemicals will allow that communication to actually happen, so that different changes can take place in your body. Next, we'll just take a quick look, like we've been doing, just to kind of summarize all this with a short video clip.
The nervous system is the control center of the human body. It is highly sophisticated, enabling the body to perceive, interpret, and respond to changes in its environment, while also facilitating cognitive processes such as learning, memory, and language. The nervous system controls voluntary processes, including the action of skeletal muscles, and involuntary processes, including circulation, respiration, and digestion. The nervous system can be divided both structurally and functionally. Structurally, the nervous system can be divided into the central and peripheral nervous systems. The central nervous system, CNS, comprises the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, comprises all the nervous structures outside the CNS. The peripheral nervous system includes the cranial nerves, spinal nerves, sympathetic trunk, and splanchnic nerves. The peripheral nervous system connects the central nervous system to muscles, organs, and sensory receptors.
All right, so there we have just an introduction to your nervous system. This is something that we cover in Anatomy 1 and Anatomy 2, and you should hopefully have some background in from health class. So you're going to use this lesson today to help you complete your work for the day. It's here if you need to refer back to it, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions.